Public service announcement. CAFOs are extremely inhumane towards livestock, produce greenhouse gases which can cause climate change, and are detrimental to human health. A CAFO, or concentrated animal feeding operation, describes a facility that keeps animals such as dairy cows, hogs, and chickens confined in a giant windowless building for 45 days or more each year. CAFOs often contain anywhere from hundreds to millions of animals which are unable to graze or forage to consume a natural diet. Instead, these animals consume feed that is usually composed of corn or soy. The animals that live in CAFOs are also forced to live and sleep where they urinate and defecate. These conditions are extremely unethical and actually cause the animals to become stressed, which can lead to disease and early death. On top of the stress that CAFOs have on the animals within and the lack of ethics, CAFOs also contribute quite a bit to greenhouse gas emissions. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, or the EPA, actually categorizes CAFOs into three different groups of small, medium, and large. This depends largely on the number of animals in a facility and the pollutants generated. Manure production on the average CAFO generally ranges from 2,800 to 1.6 million tons each year. It is also estimated that livestock in the U.S. generates around 1.37 billion tons of waste total every single year. CAFOs alone make up around 7% of the United States greenhouse gas emissions each year and include gases such as carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. With this inhumane treatment of animals and global warming on the rise, there couldn't possibly be any other cons, right? Well, wrong. In fact, studies have found that CAFOs can prove detrimental to human health. David Osterberger, former Iowa lawmaker and co-founder of the Iowa Public Policy Project, says, "The data is pretty good. We found plenty of health effects on people working inside of them, and we also found that when it comes to CAFOs, neighbors do suffer health effects. These health effects could be largely due to the antibiotics used in the feed of CAFOs, which can lead to antibiotic-resistant organisms that sicken or kill human beings." In an article sanctioned by the CDC, researchers found that 70% of antibiotics used in America were actually given to cows, hogs, and chickens in their feed. This same report also states that, quote, resistant strains of pathogenic bacteria in animals which can be transferred to humans through the handling or eating of meat have increased recently. This is a serious threat to human health because fewer options exist to help people overcome disease when infected with antibiotic-resistant pathogens. The same report analyzed studies of the air quality both inside and outside of a CAFO and found that airborne emissions can cause respiratory issues and health problems, not only for workers, but people that live nearby. Overall, CAFOs negatively affect livestock animals by forcing them to live in inhumane conditions, contribute carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide to greenhouse gas emissions, and propose a risk to human health and well-being.